Okay, hello everyone. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Mariela Cabral. I am a rising sophomore at the Wharton School of Business in the University of Pennsylvania. I'm majoring in finance and I'm a Creci Crowd Leader. So I'm so excited for everyone to hear from our CEO, Andres Idarraga, where he will discuss the significance of impact investing, of Creci, and we'll provide a walkthrough of Creci's impact investing platform. You will learn how easy and accessible it is to earn a high financial return while just making a social impact. We'll also talk about our exciting contest, as well as provide an opportunity to ask questions at the end. Again, thank you very much for being here, and I'll pass it on to Andres. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariela, and thank you everybody for joining us. I'm going to share my screen. So we're here to talk about Creci and impact investing. But before we begin, I want to make two notes. I want to say that the part of this presentation, we're going to be focused on one part of Creci, which is our investor platform. We also run a credit platform that currently operates in Colombia. We want to expand it to other countries. For the investor platform, it's geared toward US persons or folks that are able to pay taxes in the United States. And it's either individuals or institutions. And I just wanted to clear up that point in case folks are joining us from outside of the United States and wonder how they could become a Creci impact investor. At this time, it's only open if you have an EIN, a TIN, a tax identification number, or social security number in the United States for yourself or for your company. So before we begin, let me tell you what Creci is. We're working to become the first social impact neobank for small businesses in the entire Americas, serving impact investors and impact businesses. Impact investing is an incredible opportunity for people to invest in sustainable, in Black, Indigenous, or people of color-owned businesses to make a social impact as well as profit. Impact investors enables us to make a measurable social impact and financial return. And later on in the webinar, we'll quickly highlight some of the businesses we're currently supporting. At Creci, we're currently offering an online platform that enables a higher fixed return than currently offered by savings accounts, allowing you to earn that fixed return and support businesses and impact initiatives that further the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These are our benchmark. The Sustainable Development Goals is our benchmark for measuring impact, for thinking about and measuring impact. We then take those funds and we offer a suite of financial products and services that incentivize and reward small businesses that have social and environmental goals at the heart of their business models. The growing impact investor market provides capital to address the world's most pressing challenges in sectors such as sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, conservation, microfinance, and affordable and accessible basic services, including housing, healthcare, and education. Since impact investing has so much potential to drive social change, Creci developed an accessible impact investing platform, educational resources, and we are also cultivating you, a network of impact investors that wants to support these businesses. The platform caters to the 85% of US investors, including 95% of millennials that want to invest for social impact and return, but are being presented with existing investments repackaged as impact opportunities. Our platform supports the many small businesses that are furthering impact goals, but need assistance in identifying and reporting those statistics to better attract impact financing. Today, we'll discuss the part of the platform, which is the impact investing side, but we'll also profile some of our impact companies. This is how our business model works. It starts with you, the Creci impact investor, in the middle, buying our fixed income bonds from Creci, right on our website at crecinotes.com. You can earn an annual 5% return for as little as $10 in our SEC qualified notes. We then take these funds, and as noted, we create credit products for small impact businesses that are vetted through a unique combination of credit and social impact scoring models. Approved biz companies commit to providing impact metrics through our proprietary online tools, and this can lower their rates. Currently, we provide the credit products in Colombia, but our next countries are the United States and Mexico. And principal and interest repayments that we get back from our companies are used to repay investors. These are just some of the clients Creci finances with the support of our individual and corporate impact investors. For example, Biogar is a business in Colombia that sells biodegradable cleaning products, and so far has avoided 5.6 million tons of CO2 emissions. Bareque sells artisanal handbags crafted by indigenous communities in Colombia, providing jobs to about 60 displaced people or female heads of family. And Moxa provides sustainable water and waste management services in Colombia. So you can clearly see that some of these incredibly important businesses that we're helping and that are helping the environment and historically marginalized communities. That is why we must support them. And becoming an impact investor with Creci is simple and involves only a few steps. First, you go to our website at crecinotes.com and you click the Invest Now button. That takes you to our registration page. You hit register. And then you go through 4 simple steps. The first one is you create an account providing your name and address, and you set a password and add your social security number, because we need the social security number or the tax identification number in order to give you tax returns at the end of the year. You can get questions about your investor status to determine whether or not you can invest in Creci without limits. You agree to our terms of service and privacy policy. Then you hit register and continue. And then you go to next steps, which include verifying your email address by entering a code that you will receive. Step 2 is to link your bank account to Creci through our payments provider, Plaid. Plaid has bank-grade security, and you just follow their simple instructions. Step 3 is to select your investment by choosing the number of $10 Creci notes you want to buy. You then agree to investor agreement. You hit yes to purchase the notes, and verifying you should only take a few seconds. Then you must confirm your investment by providing an electronic signature. You're now the proud owner of a Creci note. You will then be directed to your dashboard, where you'll be able to view important information about your holdings, transactions, and redemptions. You will have the ability to withdraw your money on a quarterly basis to certain limits depending on your investment amount. You could also purchase additional notes from the dashboard. That's all there's to it. You're not a Creci impact investor, and we need support from folks like you if we're going to fundamentally reshape finance. The head of BlackRock, which is the biggest asset manager in the world, his name is Larry Fink, and he talks about changing finance where we are able to tie the cost of financial products or the purpose of financial products to drive sustainable, either ESG, impact investing, or sustainable development goals. And we truly believe that that must be the case if we want to play a significant role in that mission. So come on to our website, set up an account, and support these great businesses. And I'll also be handing it off to Mariela to tell you about a contest that we're running for our impact investors and some of our upcoming webinars.
Yeah, so another way, if you're interested in impact investing or just like to help encourage others to support businesses that drive social change through Creci, a great way to get involved is by becoming a Creci Crowd representative. I know there's a lot of young people here listening to us. So basically a Creci Crowd representative basically serves as an ambassador for Creci in their own communities. And some tasks that they engage in include encouraging people to register and invest in Creci notes, building and leading a community in your state or college, or also known as a Creci Crowd Hub based on a shared interest in impact investing and raise awareness about Creci and its events. I will put my email down in the chat. So if anyone is interested in becoming a Creci Crowd representative, you can reach out to me and we'll set up a meeting. And also our impact investing contest. So if you register on our site, you can join Creci's impact investing contest for the opportunity to win one of 6 $300 Creci notes holdings to add to your growth portfolio. All you have to do is follow the simple steps. So you see the account right there, www.crecinotes.com. You can join that on the internet, and then just take a couple of minutes to fill out the quick contest Google form and dashboard once you have registered. And then you don't need to make an investment to enter the contest, but obviously why not take those additional steps and make a small investment and start your impact investing journey. Yeah, it's very easy, and you get the chance to win, as I said, 6 $300 Creci notes. So it's really fun. It's on the platform, and I encourage everyone to go do that. So our next webinars will, if anyone you know is still interested in learning about Creci, we're going to be hosting one every month. So the next one is July 15th, and then the next one is August 15th. Again, you can see all these, the events and the impact investing contest on crecinotes.com. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, Mariela. And I know we went through a fair amount of information about what we're doing at Creci, what we're aspiring to do. And I thank you all very much for joining us. And we want to set aside some time for your questions, for your thoughts and comments, and we'll be happy to address them. You could either put them in the chat, or you could unmute yourself and feel free to ask a question.
I'm dropping my email in the chat. So if anyone has any follow-up questions, because as Andres said, it's a lot of information to take in. So I'm just dropping my email in the chat so everyone can email me with follow-up questions after this webinar as well.
So we have a question about guaranteeing the investment for investors. We want to note that every investment has a measure of risk. The way we try to guarantee is, first, the portfolio that we hold provides the funds that go back to the investor. Second, we're working to insure the portfolio. So we're looking for a third-party insurers of portfolios that when they begin to decline, they'll step in, cover it, and be able to, so we could be able to pay back investors as much as we can in case of recoveries. The third way is the balance sheet of the company. So when you go and you set up an account and you make an investment, it is debt that the company is issuing, Creci itself. So after the portfolio, any third-party insurance, we then have to put up our assets to be able to repay the investors. That is the 3 levels at this moment of the guarantees to pay back investors. So there is a measure of risk in the company, and this is the waterfall of how we try our best to safeguard your investment. We're happy to take any other questions, and we can stay on, for a couple of minutes as folks get their thoughts together. And if there are no other questions, we wanted to keep it brief and short on a Thursday evening with some folks, if you're on Eastern time, might want to be getting out to a happy hour or something. But we very much thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Andres, I think we have another question in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. So the question regards the redemptions. So redemptions function like this. At the end of every quarter, if you've invested either 500 or less, you could request your entire funds back. So we give up to 500 or less, you get the entire money back. Now, if you invested a significant amount, let's say somebody that invests 50,000, for example, every quarter you could take back 10% or 500, whichever one is greater. So if somebody invested 50,000, that first quarter, they'll be able to take back 5,000. And every quarter after that, they take back 10% of their funds. So there's a calculation that allows you to take back, if you're a smaller investor, all the money. If you're a larger investor, we give you kind of redemption ceiling so we can manage the company's liquidity. In any event, after 3 years, you get the full principal and interest back. And this is explained in the FAQ section of our website. And thank you for that question.
We have another question in the chat.
Okay. Some of our lending is going to be very much contingent also on the impact investor platform side. So we raise funds in three ways. One is individuals to the impact investor platform. The other one is equity funds into the company. And the third one is institutional debt. So larger corporations that may want to deploy their funds through Creci. So all of it will be depending on that. We're an early stage startup. Our goal is to hit a minimum. We would love in the next year to deploy about $5 million at a minimum, but we aspire to much more. We've seen other platforms that are able to deploy upwards of 50 or upwards of $100 million every year to help these impact local community-based businesses. And we aspire to that too, but it'll be a little bit of a road to get there. But we could easily start deploying in the lower millions in 1 year. The rates are variable. So our rates could range anywhere on the lower end. And these are in Colombia right now. So rates tend to be a little bit higher in some emerging markets. So we lend anywhere between 12 and 20%. But then the company commits to giving us their impact statistics. And if they give us their impact statistics through our platform on a quarterly basis, we begin to reduce the interest rate for them. Usually the reduction, if a company behaves extremely well with the provision of the impact statistics, so we can show you, our investors, these statistics, the interest rate will probably be reduced by approximately 2% over the course of the company's loan. No, thank you.
Victoria, I'm going to put my email again. I will email you the next steps in becoming a Creci Crowd representative. So you can also share your email with me and I can email you the next steps. And thank you so much for becoming involved and becoming a Creci Crowd representative. It's a huge opportunity for me and I've been loving it. This summer has been amazing for me and I've been learning so much about, not only finance, but making that social impact as well and learning from Creci and the team, which is amazing. So
thank you, Mariela. And one thing I want to mention as we close, and we're a smaller group, and maybe I would have mentioned this earlier, as Creci begins to think about supporting companies that are sustainable, diverse, and we think about founding teams, we also live that internally. So Mariela's from Puerto Rico. I'm originally from Colombia. My father came undocumented to the United States, grew up in Central Falls, Rhode Island, a place that if you look it up on Wikipedia, the per capita income today is about $10,000 per family, which is one of the poorest places in all of the United States. And I was lucky enough to go on to higher education. I was a lawyer for a number of years, worked on exciting cases all the way from state courts to the US Supreme Court. And we know in the US right now, what the actions the Supreme Court have taken are dramatically changing how we view our country and how we engage with our country. I was lucky enough to participate in some of those debates. But two things always stuck out for me as I thought about my journey. One was, how do we provide educational opportunities to people that have traveled the same journey I did? And the second one, and I founded a nonprofit for that a while back. The second one was, how do we provide economic development opportunities, particularly to entrepreneurs that are thinking about dramatically changing their communities, their cities, their states, and then later on their countries through ways that are sustainable, through ways that think about the future. And having grown up in those environments really gives me like a personal passion for this. And it's just not me, it's the rest of the team. My co-founder, Praveen, was a refugee to Canada and also has a nonprofit called Path and Purpose, because he thinks about what is the potential for young leaders like yourselves to step into the arena and do things that we are failing you guys in doing. He also went on to get a master's in sustainability studies at Cambridge University in England and has worked on ESG initiatives in top financial institutions. And we think about this deeply. We're an early stage company. And today we began with a 30-person webinar. Some dropped off when we thought we were finishing up with the questions. And I wish we probably would have got into this a little bit more. But pounding the pavement like this, increasing our Creci crowd, increasing our name and who we become, I think could easily make a powerful movement allow us to really leverage the impact that we're trying to create, because we truly, believe in this. When I went to law school, the first two clinics I got into law school was the education clinic and the economic development, the community development clinic, it was called at that moment. So, we are folks that we're leading with these values. We truly believe in these values, and we have to really change some of the games of how finance works in order so it works more sustainably and has sort of a justice aspect to it. And I'll sort of end with that because it's sort of my spiel, and I believe it deeply. And I thank you, the folks that were here, the folks that are thinking of participating, whether as an impact investor or on Creci Crowd or any other way that you may think about supporting us. So if there's no other questions, thank you all so much. We'll end this webinar. We said we'll keep it under 30 minutes. I'll give you 7 minutes back of your time on a Thursday evening.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you being here.